Thomas Tuchel insists West Ham aren't just Chelsea boy, Declan Rice ahead of clash. In case you didn't know, Chelsea released midfielder Rice as a 14-year-old from the academy setup at Cobham, where he played alongside current reigning player of the season Mason Mount. West Ham swooped in, offered Rice a trial, and the rest is history. These days, Hammers Academy graduate Rice captains his side with Mark Noble no longer a regular, is a very established member of the England squad for Gareth Southgate and is one of the defensive best midfielders on the continent. Such has been Raya's progress that former Blues boss Frank Lampard wanted to take Rice back to West London while he was at the helm. West Ham held firm, refused to even entertain any sort of discussions or bids and slapped a £100 million price tag on Raya's head to ward off any suitors. When Thomas Tuchel was asked about the England international at his pre-match press conference on Friday ahead of the first versus fourth clash in the Premier League on Saturday lunchtime. "Well, these things happen and I cannot comment on this because it happens at every single club in the world. That sometimes players get released in one moment and they have their career in a different way, so this is a pretty normal thing," Tuchel said. "I am absolutely aware that he is a Chelsea boy and he comes through the academy and he is very close to our guys. He's a very strong player." Thomas Tuchel has hailed Mason Mount's influence on his Chelsea side. Thomas Tuchel says the statistics highlight the «aura» that Mason Mount brings to the Chelsea team, saying the midfielder comes close to undroppable when fully fit. With Mount in the starting line-up, Chelsea's win percentage is 89% this season. Without him, that reduces to 46%. Tuchel said on Friday that he and his analysts study these stats after taking the lead from Basketball. Mount is expected to start against West Ham on Saturday, with Reece James, Timo Werner and Jorginho all fit to feature after playing no part in Wednesday's win over Watford. "We know about this because it's a kind of statistic that is sometimes interesting," Tuchel said. "I first heard about these statistics in basketball in America and the influence from one player in 5 against 5 is much higher than 11 against 11 in football. It's not a statistic which guarantees you to start because this would be too easy. But it is something we are aware of and we will not deny that having Mason brings a certain attitude and an aura and a mentality on the field." Gareth Southgate's persistent use of Mount for England has prompted criticism from fans. Yet Tuchel says it's easy to see why the midfielder is a consistent starter for his country. "It is very hard to drop him because even if he has a not-so-good game, you'll always get full energy and positivity and a wonderful approach," he said. Thomas Tuchel open to playing Saul Niguez at left wing-back for Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel has revealed that he is open to the possibility of playing Saul Niguez at left wing-back for Chelsea. The Spanish midfielder has been unable to make an impact since completing his surprise loan move from Atletico Madrid in the closing stages of the summer transfer window. Saul has started just 4 games for Chelsea this season and he was brought off at halftime in the 2-1 victory over Watford on Wednesday evening. Chelsea face the prospect of being without Ben Chilwell for the remainder of the campaign as he may require knee ligament surgery, which means the Premier League leaders are now heavily reliant on Marcos Alonso to step up. But Tuchel believes Saul could be capable of deputizing for Alonso during Chelsea's busy fixture schedule over the winter period. When asked about the possibility of playing Saul as a wing-back, Tuchel replied, "Yeah, he's still adapting. He had an early yellow card against Watford, he was a bit shy to play all in the duels. For that we lacked a bit of his physicality because he did not want to risk a red card, which was a good thing on that evening because we did not want to be one man down. I think that he could play in the wing-back role for us. Even if we play a dominant game and an offensive game because he's very strong in arriving in the opponent's box, very strong in finishing and has good timing to arrive on the second post with his head. We sometimes do this in training, that's why we have the impression that he could maybe be a good fit. Maybe in the next games we have to try it because Chile is out long term and a lot of games are coming and we cannot put every game on Marco's shoulder." Liverpool joined Chelsea in the race to sign Barcelona ace Ronald Araujo. According to Transfer News on El Nacional, Liverpool are looking to beat Chelsea to the signing of Barcelona star Ronald Araujo. The Uruguayan international is in the final 2 years of his contract and is yet to sign an extension. Araujo feels undervalued at the Spanish club as he is one of the lowest paid members of the squad. Chelsea are interested in signing the player. Especially so given that Antonio Rudiger and Andreas Christensen might depart at the end of the season. But Liverpool are looking to beat them to the punch. The Reds are willing to double the 22-year-old's current wages at Barcelona and guarantee him considerable game time. The contract situation surrounding Rudiger and Christensen gets unnerving with every passing day. The duo would be eligible to talk to foreign clubs in January if they do not sign an extension at the Bridge by the end of this month. Thus, we could lose 2 of our standout defenders by the end of the season for nothing. In such a scenario, signing Araujo could bode well for us. His age profile is ideal, and his contract situation could enable us to seal a deal for him. The Blues will need to ensure that their offer for the defender is better than the one proposed by Liverpool. If the West London club manages to pip the Reds to major titles this season and guarantee the Barcelona ace substantial minutes, he might prefer to move to Stamford Bridge. Paul Merson is convinced Antonio Rudiger will be leaving Chelsea at the end of the season but insists Thomas Tuchel isn't to blame. The German defender is out of contract in the summer and is yet to agree a new deal with the Blues. Rudiger has played a key part under Tuchel this season in helping the Blues to the top of the table, and his impressive displays have attracted interest from the likes of Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. However, former Arsenal star Merson believes his mind is already made up to depart on a free transfer and reckons it has been since falling out of favour under Frank Lampard. The 28-year-old struggled for game time under Tuchel's predecessor but is now a regular starter alongside Thiago Silva. Chelsea are going to miss Antonio Rudiger when he goes because it will take £60 to 70 meters to replace him, Merson told the Daily Star. Rudiger is definitely leaving. If he wanted to sign a new contract he would have done it by now. There's no chance he stays now. But it's not Thomas Tuchel's fault. I think he made his mind up to go when Frank Lampard had him out of the team. And even though he's been phenomenal since Tuchel brought him back in, and they won the Champions League, Rudiger hasn't forgotten. Teams will be queuing round the block now to sign him, and someone will pay him a lorry-load of money to join them. He's been one of Chelsea's 2 best players all season for me and he won't be easy to replace, but Tuchel should already be thinking about who to go for. There just aren't many world-class centre-backs around anymore, and the ones who are will cost a small fortune. That's why I don't understand it when clubs let a player run down their contract like this. It makes no sense at all and it does my head in. Thomas Tuchel reacts to Ralf Rangnick revealing he was offered Chelsea job. Thomas Tuchel accepts that other managers would have been approached for the Chelsea job after Ralf Rangnick's revelation that the club asked him to take over at Stamford Bridge. The Blues were searching for a replacement for club legend Frank Lampard back in January and settled on former Paris Saint-Germain and Borussia Dortmund boss Tuchel. The German led Chelsea to Champions League glory in his first season in charge, while his side also currently topped the Premier League table after 14 games. But things could have been different at the West London club, as Manchester United's new interim manager Ralf Rangnick revealed that he was approached over the Chelsea job after Lampard's sacking. However, the 63-year-old turned down the offer as it was only for the remainder of the season, while he has just taken a 6-month deal with a further 2 years in a consultancy role at Old Trafford. At the time, when Chelsea contacted me, they only spoke about the possibility of 4 months and no perspective of further than that, said Rangnick. Here, we are talking about 6.5 months and a 2-year advisory role. If a club like Manchester United contacts you, you cannot possibly turn it down. When quizzed on Rangnick being offered the Chelsea job, Tuchel told reporters on Friday, "It's a nice job to have in world football to be the coach of Chelsea. You need to be realistic, of course. If you get the phone call you should be very aware that you are not the only one getting a phone call. Now I'm here and I'm happy." Despite being one of the coaches that inspired him, Tuchel admitted that he hasn't been in contact with his compatriot Rangnick since he joined United. "I haven't spoken to him," added the German. "If I did I would simply congratulate him, but nobody needs advice from me. I have enough to do to get us in the right direction and this is where the focus is." Every situation is different, everybody does it in their own way, so he can prove himself now in a very big club and the biggest league.
That is all just news today. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much.